What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Albert Knight here, your Tech and Games Crusader, and we have a unboxing here. This is the release unit for the PlayStation Sony Pulse Elite. This is the main identity that you can tell from of the two products that use the Audeze technology for planar magnetic drivers. Since the 9-ish million buyout that Sony made for the company of Audeze for the purposes of primarily their gaming headset. They are the only now licensed or functional built headset for gaming using Audeze drivers or Audeze technologies, be it filter, planar magnetic, the possibility for anti-static or carbon drivers, like in their higher priced. I don't know if those are going to ever come to gaming. Maybe they'll be in a premium H-Zone line or something, or even Sony's audiophile headphones. But yeah, the biggest purpose that you would want this headset over the standard Pulse 3D or a Turtle Beach or something like that is one, planar magnetic drivers. You can see right there. So the biggest thing with planar magnetic drivers over dynamic drivers is dynamic drivers are smaller. You have multiple, sometimes drivers per ear that are angled to try and reproduce what the creators originally designed. Planar magnetic drivers, on the other hand, you know, like the Audeze Maxwell, Audeze Penrose, these are actually larger drivers, but this precedes this. Basically, they use a very thin film that passes vibrations through that, and that's how you get resonance for perfect sound reproduction of what the creators originally intended. They're not great for like big thumpy bass, but what they are great for is sound reproduction and fast hitting bass. So you won't shake the ears off your head or anything like that with these. Like the original Pulse Elite headset, this is under $200. That one was $180, and it had vibration motors built in it called bass shakers that would vibrate your ears to enhance the feeling of the bass. That was back with the PS3. And what this does at $150 is a lot more durable, because that headset had a very bad design with, you turn those vibration motors on and it would weaken the structure right here. And I had my friend go through 3 of those before I got him converted over to a better headset with a Logitech G9 or 733 at the time, and then got him onto a Audeze Penrose for PlayStation, and that's what he's still currently using. So as I've been turning this box here in the process while I've been talking, so you can see here intuitive controls. So it's very simple inputs: adjust volume and mic, mute your mic. It's actually got a button on the microphone that you mute it with. There's no push to mute. There's no track to mute or anything like that. And then it is retractable, and it uses enhanced noise rejection. What that means is Audeze had a technology that they brought out in a speakerphone originally called the filter. And it was AI noise enhanced, or AI enhanced noise rejection. So what it does, it has a compression that it boosts the audio volume of your voice in a noisier environment. And what it would do, as you can see here, this is the Shure C17 co-designed microphone for the Audeze headset, is a cardioid microphone. This is what it came on both the Penrose, and then they refined it a bit for the Maxwell. So, as I continue to say, the filter technology was then input into this, both in beam-forming mics, which is 5 of them on the ear cups, and also in your cardioid mic here. The only thing you don't get with the microphone in this is there's no gain control that you can be able to do for the microphone itself. If it had gain control, which is not really possible in a DSP or digital sound processing headset, then this would have to have been something other than a TRRS 3.5 millimeter audio jack. It would probably have been a USB Type-C mic, just to have the power handling to work for boosting gain and to get clean gain out of the microphone through the headset. Plus, it would probably also have had a wireless or a wired required mode for that, so the battery life in this wouldn't have been compromised. So you could use this in a configuration to where headset is wired, mic is connected. The mic was kind of like the H80 Corsair mic, where it's a USB Type-C connection to provide a clean gain, crystal clear audio production for the microphone. As it is, it does a decent job, and there's nothing on the market that can touch what the AI noise rejection of filter technology does, until you bring it over here to Sony's products engineers and everything, and they use their in-house enhanced audio clarity tools to be able to boost the amount and the focus of the AI noise rejection into the Sony PlayStation Pulse Elite. So, long battery life comparison here. This is anywhere between 20 to 30 hours. In my testing, I have only ever gotten 22-ish hours out of this headset, this specific headset. And out of this states 80 hours. So why is this why is it relevant information? This headset costs $300. This headset costs $149. This is half the price of this. Comparing the specs and the functions and features, this is where you're going to find out what a value this headset really is. So, in my testing, the battery life on this, in wireless mode, which is using Bluetooth 5.3 boosted connection that is like 2.4 plus gigahertz, will reach around 98 feet, or roughly 29 to 30 meters before you have sound degradation. By comparison, the Penrose would not go 10 feet, so not even 3 meters before it would have cut in and out, turn itself on and off, and sound resets. And by the way, this headset is also $300. So, the biggest takeaway on this is my battery life. I never saw less than 92 hours. And this is my third Audeze Maxwell headset. The first one I had right here, there was no welding done at all. It was just adhesive, and that was on the very edges, and it separated. So this part was hanging, and I had that happen on 2 different units that I bought from Amazon. One was from Adorama, and one was from another company, Game Zone. That was the vendors that were shipping via Amazon. That was what I experienced. This one came directly from Audeze. Never had an issue with it. I've maybe charged this headset in the 4.5 months I've had it, I don't know, 3 times at most. And it's great. I can't say enough good things about this headset. This is the only one thing that, if you don't understand why it is the way it is, that is a a negative, would be the weight. And if you have the stock ear pads on, it's 492 grams with the stock head strap on as well. With this configuration, these are the Define, and they're ice silk fabric with gel underneath. And this is 26 grams or 26.2 grams per ear pad. And then the Wicked Cushions silicone head strap replacement. This adds another, over the stock head strap weight, this adds another 34 grams. So that does put it a bit in contention of over 550 grams. So it does make it a little bit heavier. By comparison, this is lighter than this. This was 382 grams. This is 342 to 344.5 grams. The only headset I have that's lighter than this is the Plantronics Rig HD or HX Pro or HX 500 or HX HX 500 and HX 800 Pro. Those are both way less than this. It's 262 and 238 grams respectively between the 500 and the 800 Pros. And alright, so looking on around here, planar magnetic drivers. These are very, very close to these. These are 90mm planar magnetic drivers. As you can see right there. These are 100mm planar magnetic drivers. A lot larger, a lot bigger, more complex. So these are single-sided planar magnetic drivers. What that means is you have a resonance coil that these bars, think of them like a tuning fork. They're going to carry vibrations into sound, and they're going to output this way. So your resonance chamber is actually on the back of here. That's when you're going to get your sound from. If we go into this headset, you're going to see how these are designed to be built cheaper because you don't have easily removable upgrade pads that you can be able to do on these. And you don't have things that are removable like this. This is basically an upgraded version of the original PlayStation Pulse 3D head strap. But you do get some nice features. So this headset, if you plug it in for 30 minutes, you get 20 hours of battery life. This one, 10 minutes grants you 2 hours. So if you plug this in for 30 minutes, you're going to get roughly a little past 7 hours of battery life on this. By comparison, part of the reason these are heavier is the larger battery. The one weakness that this headset has is pressure. So if you don't use this headband head suspension strap in here, and you wear a hat or you pull your headphones down on your head very low, you have very thin wires that run under this very thin PU leather pad. And if that gets pinched, on my second pair that I had, I found out that it would just cut out the power and it would cut out the signal, and it eventually would just not function at all. So those are things you have to watch out for. The biggest thing you have to watch out for, though, is if you've never had a planar magnetic set of headphones before, or headset, this is not a headset that you just put on your head and close and cram into your ears. Because what you're going to do, you're going to rupture this driver, very thin sheet of material that is under those rails. And that's what makes your sound. If you rupture that, what you're going to hear in your ears is going to sound like tinfoil being crushed and crunched up and stuff. Now, Audeze always had in their instructions on their website, and part of their warranty replacement, you get one replacement typically. If you haven't seen or didn't follow that, whenever they have you analyze what your reason for replacement is. So if it's anything else that's structural or mechanical as far as electrical things, then it's a lot easier to get a replacement done. If you have ever damaged the driver without being aware of how to properly take care of or utilize function of wearing these, what you do, you open them up, you get them on your head, and then you just let it rest. You don't want to pound them together like this, cause any kind of suction and divulsion is going to cause that to rupture or cause it to wrinkle or get loose. People have tried to say on Reddit that their drivers came damaged, and some of them, maybe it did. But just a little crinkle in a corner is not going to do that much. If someone is not aware how to handle and utilize a audiophile grade headset or headphones, and they just cram their hands over these or something like that and start pushing. What happens with a plunger whenever you're trying to plunge a stop toilet? Well, you're eventually going to have things release. And what you're doing is you're rupturing the edges or the center of that driver film. So just something to be aware of. Alright, give me one moment guys and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. So like I said, the range on this, you're looking at roughly around 100 feet or just under. This, in Bluetooth mode, gets around 65 to 70 feet. And then in wireless mode, it's using what's called the PlayStation Link, which is a long-form dongle, similar to what this included right there. And I think some of the technologies that's used in this were reused in this. And the reason I say that is the range on this was absolute trash when using the dongle for wireless mode. For low latency 2.4 gigahertz wireless was trash. Like I said, you couldn't get 3 meters or even 10 feet out of it. This in Bluetooth is much better. It's not 5.3 Bluetooth like this is. This is just Bluetooth 5.2, but it's not certified 5.2. On this, you plug this in, yeah, it's quick to connect and everything, but you better hope you're less than 8 feet away from your system. At most, I would say 12. It's nowhere near the range of what this is. If you look on here, the changes that they made to the dongle for this one is based on feedback that they got for the functionality of the dongle for the Penrose before it. So they would always say, on the Penrose, plug it into an extension and then run it. And don't have it near any routers, electrical interference, or anything like that, because it's going to disconnect on you. So there's no shielding that was on the Penrose dongle. This one has shielding on it, and in addition to shielding, it also is using, like I said, a hyper Bluetooth connection that is low latency, but it is also low power. So it's not going to pull a lot of power. It's not going to interfere with other electrical devices. And you see it's USB Type-C. It includes an extension dongle with it. And it's truly the best of both worlds in Bluetooth or in this. So the one thing you're losing out on from the Penrose though, this had dual device connection capabilities. You could connect Bluetooth at the same time as your wireless dongle, but this was not functional in a wired USB Type-C mode, only in a wired TRRS 3.5 inch audio jack mode. This does not have dual device connectivity to where you can't hear two sources at the same time. It will predominate as one wired source and one wireless via dongle source. You can't do Bluetooth and wired at the same time. It will alternate. But you could do 3.5 millimeter and wired, or 3.5 millimeter and wireless, or you could do Bluetooth and wired via, okay, not Bluetooth. You could do wireless via dongle, and you could do wired via USB-C. There, I fixed that. Sorry, it's hot in here. So, but yeah, the thing that Sony made possible on this is you can do your PlayStation Link wireless with Bluetooth wireless at the same time, so you can game at the same time as chatting with someone in game, listening to Spotify or YouTube music or something else on your phone or another Bluetooth source. Usually for me it would be Bluetooth to the TV and watching something while I'm gaming on the monitor. And that is a possibility. The only thing is, you have to manually disable your microphone on the system so that you don't have who you're talking with on the phone also be heard on the system. So your conversations on one will bleed through to the other. If you're carrying on a phone call, mute this in the system settings. Because if you mute it on the mic, you're muting it completely. So you can see right there, it says simultaneously listen to audio from a PlayStation Link and Bluetooth device. The only other method that you have for connection on this headset is wired via TRRS 3.5mm headphone jack. That makes this headset work directly plugged into a controller on Xbox or on the Switch or on your phone. The only thing is, you don't get functionality for the microphone when you are plugged in on those other devices unless the headset is powered on. This does not have passive power representation because it is a digital sound processing for the audio output. So DSP is used in all of your audio output. That's why I said this inherits some of the features from the Penrose. This couldn't be used wired via USB Type-C. This can't be used wired via USB Type-C. Alright. So, I did a shorts video showing the comparison size for the boxes. Oh yeah, guys. And this does not include a TRS 3.5mm headphone jack, or a headphone audio cable. You can see here that your ingredients, jeez, my brain is fried, guys, so please excuse me. You got your headset, your link adapter. Does not include any extension adapter for it, or extension cable for it. You got Pulse Elite charging hanger, very convenient. Mounting plate for the charging hanger. No screw, because different materials and metals and things that would be used to hang it, people are going to use different things. You can also use a 3M what do they call those things, strip not connect strip, but sorry guys, my brain is, it's part of this blood disease stuff. Anyways, you can see there's no cable included except for your USB Type-C, and that is USB Type-C to USB Type-A. And it is just a different 2.0 headphone, or 2.0 USB cable. Whereas this takes a 3.0. Maxwell takes a 3.0. Penrose takes a 2.0. So here we have our order of release and size of packaging. You can see, of course, this is the largest packaging, but not the thickest. It is thicker than the Penrose packaging though. Now if we compare the width of the boxes, Penrose is just slightly wider. Than the Pulse Elite. Box weighs similar amount though to it. Alright, so let's go ahead. All of this has been leading up to the experience of some tips, tricks, and best care for the Pulse Elite. So let's get into that and compare sizing and everything, head sizing, fitment of the Pulse Elite. And guys, I don't know if you've ever seen this thing on someone's head that has a larger head. Literally, it looks very phallic. Very phallic. Very, very phallic. It looks like you're wearing, you know, a mushroom head. So keep that in mind. People have questions if you go out or they see you in the shadows, or a shadow of you wearing it outside. So, alright, be right back, guys. Alright, guys, we're back. As you can see, the height of the inner packaging for both of these headsets is the same. For the height, this way. And you can see also, this design is very similar in the way they're packed. You got your foam on the inside of here, instructions behind that, there's your instructions on the front there. And just to get this is $24.99. So keep that in mind. This is included with this headset. So subtract that from the cost of the actual headset itself, and because if you already have one of these or get multiples of them, you're looking at not $149 but $124.99. This thing is much lighter. The recycled materials packaging snaps together very easily. Got our manual here, safety guide, there's your wireless headset. Power it takes is 5 volts at 500 milliamps per hour. Charging hanger is 2 amps. Output at 5 volts. PlayStation Link adapter. Power output is 0.1 amps. Alright, you can see here we got battery capacity is 820 milliamps per hour. You got headset weight. See, this says it's a little heavier than it actually is. So here's the thing, part of the reason is this is a Bluetooth based device, just like on the Maxwell. The only thing is, it's not low energy Bluetooth 5.3 like the Maxwell adapter is. As you can see right there, operating temperature. So the biggest thing you're getting out of this is proprietary technology in here to make it lower latency, the same way as the Maxwell does, but it's in a form factor that would be better fitted in USB Type-C, especially if for use on the PS5, PS5 Slim, and the future for the PS5 Pro is probably not going to use this, and next generation won't use this because it will have the link technology built into the system. The reason that I believe this is because some things I'm aware of that have not been revealed yet. This also works natively because the Portal, PlayStation Portal, already has this built in because it has provisions for the Bluetooth language of the proprietary signals used on the adapter within the device. I wish this was Bluetooth 5.3. It would be a lot better distance carrying than it is if it were. Or at least I wish it was shielded. So if it was shielded, then you could use this with an extension adapter and you could get further range out of it than maybe 20 feet at most. You got your rest of your accessories are in here. Let me pause and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. So you just flip this down from right there. Here's your cable for charging. Here is your hook. Here's your mounting plate. And your quick manual. Let me pause it and I'll be back. Okay guys, we're back. I figured I would show you here. This is what's covering the drivers. And then you can see here, they have this spacer foam in here to keep the drivers from clattering and moving while it's in process of transit and delivery and everything. So there's some bit of in place design of packing and stuff to keep these from becoming messed up. So as you can see here, on your right, you got your volume rocker. It's not dual stage, no second wheel or anything. You got your USB Type-C. There's your TRS 3.5mm audio. Here's your power slash the ability to pair. Be aware, these are very, very surface level, not very deep. So if you have larger ears, you'll be mostly okay. But if you have wide ears, the very front, you're probably going to hit the drivers. You can see here, it is a horizontal rail design underneath the foam here, or the felt material, the cloth Here's your microphone. You grip it by the PlayStation emblems. To release it, there's your mute button. So on your power button here, the way you go into pairing mode for the PlayStation Link is you double tap. If you've already connected to a device, first time pairing, hold it down for 8 seconds. As you can see here, it's how you utilize your charging hook. You got pogo pins here. Pogo pins here. So I love this suspension system that they have for this, and I do wish that Audeze had done something similar to that for their Maxwell, because my favorite design of the Audeze headsets in the suspension and the head support is in the EL8. It has a cushion here, and it's on suspension cords that it will support your head. So like I said before, the microphone here, it is not retract to mute. You have to hit the mute button, and you will see the light on there showing it's muted. So right here you can see how to pair Bluetooth to your head or to your mobile device or any other Bluetooth device. Like I said, I do Bluetooth on my TV. It's a LG CX55. Love it. Here you can see how to pair to your PlayStation Link adapter. Alright guys, so here's your size comparisons. Let me get some stuff cleaned up and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. So people have been asking, how much does my headset weigh with this configuration on it? 1 pound 35 ounces, or 3.5 ounces. Let's go ahead and switch that over. Or there's 1.22 pounds, 19.5 ounces, 554 grams. Let's keep it on grams. So for this headset, $342. We got 12.1 ounces, 0.755 pounds. It's pretty lightweight. So, be right back guys, and let's take a look at the size comparison of it. You can see the design, how much headspace they can be able to take care of with Maxwell's. Let's see how much space it takes up on my hook. I got room for both of them over here now. This is the headset that I usually have over here. This is the Brook S70. This is a variant of the HyperX Cloud. This has pretty good range on it. Maybe about 35 to 38 feet. Sometimes, depending on time of day, sometimes you can get all the way out to about 54 feet. But this is $70. This is half the price of this even. Has pretty good reproduction of your directional audio. But this is a dynamic driver headset, so... There's your dynamic speaker. And the cushions on this are chrome Calypsos. They're great. So comparing these two here, this you can tune by EQ to be 4 times more powerful than the PlayStation Pulse Elite. So this is where you come to your downside in the difference in pricing. The audio signature on these by default is kind of a very balanced neutral audio sound. But it has a medium sound stage to it. You can tune it to be wider, and you can tune it to be much more powerful. Because this is a 32 ohm headset. We take a look here. This doesn't have an ohm rating on it. So this is not an audiophile headset, so to speak, in the power specifics. But in the technology used in it, this is what you would consider a set it and forget it headset for the purpose of gaming. It has some of the best imaging for directional input that, in combination with the Tempest 3D audio that Sony uses on the PS5, or if you're using it in Dolby on PC or Xbox, or even mobile with Dolby for headphones, it enhances what this thing does without having to get as loud. The limitation on decibel on this, before you get distortion, is around 90 to 88 decibels, which is about 60% audio volume. This thing I can't get to distort. At 100% volume, it's so loud that you're going to bust your eardrums and ruin your ears for any sort of functional hearing before you make these distort. These, you get distortion, like I said, around 60% audio output. The reason why is this is just 5 volt powered. It doesn't have any ohm rating for it the same way as Audeze uses to give where you can boost it or anything like that. You're not advised to use any digital sound processing headset or headphones with an amp. So the reason you don't want to use any sort of DAC amp with these is because you're going to mess up or possibly short circuit your inner digital sound processing. Same thing with these. I would definitely not advise connecting these to a DAC amp. You're asking to blow these out and possibly just permanently distort them to where you could rupture the process of them being functional. Could also catch them on fire because it's 5 volt. It's not 32 ohms. So yeah, and it's really low output. So yeah, guys, beyond that, just to give you some comparisons, I've already shown you how to apply them, but let me show you what I was talking about of the mushroom head. You see the shape that you're looking at there. If you're wearing those on your head and you're in a shadow, very phallic. For my head fitment, and I have a very large head, as you can see, these are 4 holes in them and they're at the very bottom. And I still have the bottoms of my ears barely outside of even these larger pads. Like, they're usually sitting to where they're pushing them out like that. On the stock pads or on the wicked cushions, I can't even get my ears to go inside them. Like, it's sitting to where they're around up here. So, be right back, guys. Alright, guys. You can see right now the shape on my head with the headset. My ears barely reach the bottom of the inside, but where my ears stick out a good amount, they are touching the drivers. So I would need to have, and possibly undo the material on this all the way around. To be able to replace these pads and get some sort of a pad mod done, which would void the warranty, by the way, just for me to be able to use these properly and not have my ears puffing on them, because anytime I was moving my jaw, I was feeling my ears touching the drivers. But what do you get for this for $150 compared to this for $300? Versatility of this is basically in more. What you get is more power, more battery life, more mic quality by having versatility of removing it opposed to just, retracting it. Higher quality materials. You get swivel. And more weight. The only more that you don't want. But for what you get in this, I've seen that on the website it says 30 hours of battery. Mine doesn't do that. This is a lot more durable headband. This is a lot more durable to be able to keep your head from crushing wires that causes shorting. This is a full 360 rotation via a 6 direction port or outlet here that it's pivoting on. So if you store these, I would store them with some sort of foam or something like it came right back here on both sides. That way it keeps these from moving around. I wouldn't do the whole process of bending this too much, because you can already see this is a easily scratched material and probably very easily cracked as well. So is this worth $149? If you don't already have a premium headset, be it an planar magnetic, a Maxwell, I would say yes. If you have a Penrose, I would say yes, it's worth it, because you get better distance and you get longer battery. Penrose has right around 20 hours. So, but you don't get the power. If you're looking for bass, if you're looking for thump quality, if you're looking for a powerful headset, not just a clear, crisp headset, go with the Audeze. If you're looking for clear, immersive gaming that can be used just lounging about, playing PlayStation or PC, or even PSVR. In VR, this does work very well because of the shape of the design. It has this right here, when you're wearing it, goes up enough, your bar or your strap of your VR headset will go right under it to where it fits very well. If you just like to experience games, to be able to have quality audio, and you also want to have something you can use for Bluetooth on mobile, and be able to also answer calls on mobile, or listen to Discord or Spotify or things like that, this is the headset for you. If you don't own a PlayStation 5, this don't work on Xbox. Your only way of using this on Xbox is going to be right here, plugged into the controller. Same thing for Switch. This works on PC and this works on PlayStation. That's it. And that being PlayStation 5 or PS5 Slim, PC, be it Mac or PC. This is driverless. This doesn't install anything to update it. You do have to have PS5 only to change your EQ settings for this though. So keep that in mind. So if you don't have a PS5 and you're looking at this and you don't like the default audio profile, you would need to have, or go to someone's house that has a PS5 so you can update and change your profile. You get 3 custom profiles for EQ, and then you have 3 that are present that you can choose what you want them based on bass boost, treble boost, and your PlayStation default of immersive. So those are things to keep in mind about this. Personally, I would advise using this with an adapter extension on PC. If you're going to use this, I would either make sure you're drywall anchoring, or that you are mounting it in a way where that you can still reach this bottom port for your cable to go in to charge, because this is not a wireless charger. It's wireless from here to here, but it's not wireless from here to the wall. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And this is Knight, your Tech and Games Crusader. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to give a thumbs up. If you want to see more, have any questions, like as I said, leave them below. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers. I never thought I would get to that point. I mean, my channel goal was always just 1,500 anyways. If I got to that, I'm fine, I'm good. Because I just like to be able to provide helpful information for people who have interest in products with unbiased information, because I don't like doing things like this where things are sent for free, because regardless what people say, there is a bias psychologically that occurs whenever you receive something and you don't have to pay for it, because you don't value it the same. But guys, this is Knight, your Tech and Games Crusader. Hope you guys have a good night, good day. Take care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.